Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lex, and if my personality seems off in this video, it's because I already tried to record this video for y'all this morning. I had it all done. I'm uploading it to Final Cut, and then all of a sudden, no sound, no audio. I'm theorizing that my cat hit the lever on my camera to like the slow-mo, no audio mode. Why that exists, I don't know. But anyway, so I'm recording this for the second time. I was like, let me go out and get some lunch, just live, have a little bit and then come back and do this again. So sorry for that little spiel. But welcome to my channel. My name is Lex. And first and foremost, I want to give a huge shout out to Melrose 0576. Thank you for the $20 worth of super chats. It makes my day. Literally, y'all are the reason why I am so motivated and inspired to keep creating, even despite the problems. And it's not just those of y'all who donate money. Like, that means the world to me because you definitely don't. But even those of y'all who just like, comment, share the video, like all of that means so much to me and why I'm here recording this again for the second time. So anywho, if you are new to the channel, I would love it if you would consider looking through the other videos on my page, watching this video and determining if you would like to like, share, comment, and subscribe. It helps to drum up engagement, and we are less than 300 away from 2,000 subscribers. So let's get it. Today we are going to be talking about day 48 in the Big Brother house. There was a lot of chat about building alliances, Quinn and his 5 to 7 person alliance. Who's he going to be with? Is he going to make this alliance? Also a lot of chat about, is the veto going to be used? Is Angela going to be saved? So there was a lot of chat, a lot of discussion. If Angela is saved, who's going to be the renom? Leah had some one-on-ones. Let's get into it. So we begin the day with Joseph and Mackenzie talking. They are still...
I think that I helped everyone. In a sense.
No, I think he did too. I think like after the vote, I was like, oh my God.
Talking about Tucker, the kind of player he was. Joseph has been doing all kinds of damage control now that it is exposed that he had that final 2 with Tucker. He is really trying to distance himself, saying, Tucker this, Tucker that, Tucker. He does tell Mackenzie, look, you're a physical threat, but your social game isn't really anything that anyone would be threatened by. Essentially is what he basically tells her, that her social game is trash, so no one's going to be threatened. And I was like, here we go again. Cocky Joseph, second day in a row. Like, why is this man so cocky? And people in the house are starting to notice. People are getting very, very turned off by Joseph's cocky behavior. So Joseph says, look, my social game was really, really good. I didn't even need Tucker in that respect. He says, look, I always tried to bring my allies together rather than trying to tear them apart. He says, I tried to bring Quinn and Tucker together, whereas Tucker wanted to put division between people. Joseph has really been on this kick where he's trying to talk about how he was so much better of a player than Tucker, how he is just the mastermind of the house, and it has been a lot for everybody. So Leah and Quinn, they do check in with each other. Leah is checking in with Quinn about the alliance that he proposed, asking about the possibility of 5 people in this alliance. At this point, Quinn claims he is down for whatever. Now she asks him, hey, who would you put up if you were using the veto? And he once again reiterates that Skittle idea that he has, where he's going to have everybody come up. He's going to ask for a volunteer. If no one volunteers, then he's going to have them pick Skittles. Whoever has the green Skittle is going to go up on the block. Now, Leah says, look, I want to keep Angela because I believe she is a jury vote for me at the end. I feel like she is somebody that I know I have in the bag. Quinn is worried, though, about the repercussions of potentially using the veto on Angela, because depending on who goes up, he could end up getting more blood on his hands. Now, they're talking about Joseph and overall asking, like, how did Joseph go from being in, quote unquote, a good spot to playing like this, where he is so cocky? And I'm like, in what world was Joseph ever in a good spot? Even ever since Kenny was in the house, there was somebody who was always super skeptical of Joseph. So, Leah tells Quinn that if Tikor wins, she is definitely not putting up Rubina, MJ, Chelsea, Angela, if they're Chemo, and potentially Joseph. So that leaves only about 2 people in the house that would be going up. But they both agree that putting up Joseph is not good for their game at this present moment. They do think T-Core is a great person and really want the potential of building a Final Four between Chelsea, T-Core, and them too. But they do also recognize, and Quinn says this quite a lot yesterday, that working with Chelsea is going to also include working with Cam. And he just doesn't know, being that Cam is a, quote, competitor, or the archetype of a competitor, we'll at least say. So overall, though, Leah does say she wants to use the veto on Angela, but it is not definite. Also noted in this conversation, Leah was ranting quite a lot about Joseph.
I think that he just feels incredibly insecure.
Like, the fact that he moved rooms alone, and I know you were, like, telling me, like, I need to socialize and whatever, but, like, I do socialize. Like, that would have been out of my character to move rooms.
No,
Yesterday, Leah is really getting the ick from Joseph. Again, a lot of people are just getting the ick from the fact that he is so cocky. He's going around the house telling people that they're not going to stay, that they have no chance, that he's safe and he's been safe. You know, people are just getting rubbed the wrong way, especially considering the fact that he doesn't talk personal. And this is clearly a cast where personal relationships is a big deal. On some casts, I feel like it is just game. But I feel like with this cast, as big as gamers they are, it does seem like they all also are friends for the most part. It does seem like people like to talk a lot about their personal lives. And so I do think that's put a target on Joseph's back from the beginning, because he doesn't talk personal with anybody. So Chelsea and Joseph also have a conversation, and
in chaos. Never to be like, that's why after the veto meeting with Cedric, I wasn't in that cave room. That's why you don't see me around any fights. Anytime. I'll always walk away, because I don't think that helps anybody's game.
They're kind of talking out some of their qualms. They do talk about the veto ceremony where Tucker exposed everything, and Chelsea's talking about how she and Brooklyn got all of this heat for starting the collective, when Joseph was the one that was going around saying that he started it. And he was the one that, you know, was making final twos with Tucker, as like she was literally getting put under fire and potentially being on the block. You know, he does talk a bit about this final two that he had with Tucker, and they kinda, sorta, not really squash things by the end of it, but they do talk some things out. Now, Angela, meanwhile, is taking it upon herself to campaign to MJ and Chelsea. Again, say what you will about Angela, she will fight for her game, okay? And I have to give that to her. And I do think that point that Angela has made with different people, because she makes this point to a couple of people throughout the day, that there are people in the house who feel safe, who do not campaign, who do not feel like they're in any kind of danger, while there's other people that have to campaign every single day and every single week. And I do agree with that. So anyway, she says a lot of the same stuff that she has been saying to MJ and Chelsea when she's campaigning, that they can use her as a number, keep her around as a shield. She promises if she gets HOH, she will not put them up. And at this present moment, Angela really is not the target for them. For a lot of people in the house, I don't think really Angela is their target. So Quinn tells Chelsea and T-Core that at some point he wants to meet to solidify who they are working with, what the official alliance was. That was supposed to happen last night. And T-Core also is talking with Rubina a lot and telling her, look, like, if one of you guys leaves this week, I'm going to be so mad. I'm not going to be able to handle it. Remember, T-Core also claims that after the renom, which should be going on right now, actually. It's 1:30 Eastern. She's going to blow it up. And I want to see that, T-Core. Give me the heat, okay? I want you to get out there, right? Rather than talking behind the scenes with Chemo and Rubina, get out there and give me something. Okay. Now, T-Core also feels that Quinn didn't consider her feelings when he did this. He didn't know how she was going to feel. And to that, I say, girl, you orchestrated a flip against Cedric and left him on the outside. There is no real reason why Quinn should be considering your feelings. It's totally okay that T-Core's upset. That I don't care about. You know, I don't even care that she's been moping around the house, upset. Fine. Your allies are on the block. But to say that Quinn should have taken your feelings into consideration, you didn't take his into consideration. So, yeah. Chelsea, Cam, and MJ have a conversation, and
which is so crazy.
Yeah.
It does.
And it just showed how many people were willing to throw their game under his wing.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Chelsea lets them know that Quinn is looking for volunteers if he uses the veto. MJ says, look, Quinn needs to keep around the people who voted Tucker out as safe. Those people need to be guaranteed safe. But overall, they're talking about how it feels like a very different house without Tucker, talking about how so many people were willing to throw their games to him, and just overall how they feel lighter and freer when he's not there. So Joseph and Quinn have a conversation, and at this point, they are not sure if Leah's using the veto. Joseph feels like it is better if Leah does not use it.
And if she tells me tonight, like, I feel like, is she going to change her mind tomorrow? Like,
Right.
So hopefully I'll have an answer by tonight.
Yeah.
The veto, because the Skittle thing is a dumb idea, and he straight up tells that to Quinn. I agree. Why are we putting up people with Skittles? Okay. Anyway, Cam joins the conversation, and they try to see if he has any info on whether or not Leah is going to use the veto, and he says Leah has not told him at this point if she's using it, but they are discussing Angela and whether or not she asked Leah outright to use the veto on her, which, as far as we know, she did not. She has not. Now, again, if Leah uses the veto, Quinn says, that he wants a volunteer, and he wants everyone to swear that they're not going to vote that person out. Joseph says, look, if you tell Leah that that's what's going to happen, it may sway her to actually not use the veto, because she won't want a random person to go up. So Quinn and Leah have a check-in, and Quinn is like, hey, like, how have your talks been going? Like,
Okay, I like it. Yeah, fuck it.
I walked into the backyard and Chelsea's like, so are you using it tomorrow or not? I'm like, that's a crazy way to say.
how's it going? And Leah's like, oh, I haven't had any. And he's like, what? But she does talk about how she went to the backyard, and Chelsea started a conversation off like, hey, are you using it tomorrow? Like, what's up? Are you going to use it tomorrow? And Leah felt some type of way because she's like, what kind of conversation is that? Why are you starting a conversation like this? Now, he asks at this point if Leah knows who she wants to work with, and she says she's not sure. She doesn't really give an answer, but she does say that her and Cam, meaning Chelsea and Cam, did ask her about starting something, and her response to that was kind of like, but what are you doing for me, though? She does say she's going to do one-on-ones, which we do see later that night, but the time got away from her. And they discuss forming something with them and MJ. They like Chelsea, but again, the fear is that with Chelsea comes Cam, and they may not be able to beat Cam. Leah does say she will talk to MJ about the three of them forming a trio, Leah, MJ, and Quinn, but she is worried that MJ will go to Chelsea and Cam and tell them about the trio. So Leah and Joseph also have a conversation, and Leah asks his thoughts on the veto being used, whatever. He says, look, I would not use it. Leah says she does want to hear what everyone else in her position would do. So Leah has her one-on-ones, starting with Angela.
Advantage.
Oh, take advantage. Okay.
Yes, I don't want to take advantage of the situation because that you and I are close and that we have said we want to be final two together. I want that more than...
So Leah asked Angela her thoughts about, what should be done with the veto. Angela is very hesitant to answer. She says, look, I don't really want to make it seem like I'm taking advantage of you, because, you have the veto and we're close. I don't really want to sway you anyway. Angela has been so careful not to give her thoughts to anyone these days because she knows her words get used against her. Now, she does say she is not making any definitive decisions until she talks to everyone, but she says no matter what that she loves and cares about Angela. And overall, she doesn't want her to be paranoid throughout the whole week or whatever. Now, Angela says, look, I don't want Quinn here because he's targeted me. But if he's somebody that you want to protect, I will let it go if you use the veto on me. Angela says it benefits Leah to keep her in this game because she would never put her or anyone she cares about up on the block, even if they burned her. And she says, look, I will lay my life out in the game for you. At this point, I'm already a target. I've already made moves. I've already done things. So again, she's positioning herself that she's a shield. She's always going to go up every week, etc. Blah, blah, blah. Leah and Chemo have a conversation, and they essentially in their conversation talk about how they barely talk game together and that they should have probably worked together before. Chemo says, like, we should have probably been working together, but I was too busy caring about the collective. Overall, Leah does say she trusts T-Core and she wants to potentially work with them too, because they do all get along. However, you know, they agree that they're going to talk more game. And that's kind of where that ends off. Leah and Rubina have a conversation, and Rubina says her number one fear is the veto being used on Angela.
Is to be in AI arena and keep noms the same. Because for me, even though I could sit here and ask you.
She thinks that the best shot that she and Chemo have is fighting it out in the arena and the noms staying the same. Now, Rubina also expresses concern with the veto being used because she believes the renom will be T-Core. And Leah's like, oh, okay. You know, she says T-Core's already been having a pretty hard time this week, and it would just be devastating for her to go on the block. She feels really bad. She could not sell her friend out just to get off the block or whatever. Now she wants to take her chance in the arena and fight for it. And then she tries to propose the girls' alliance to Leah. And, you know, Leah doesn't really give a definitive answer. But I will say by the end of the night, it does seem like a lot of those girls are a little more on board with the potential of the girls' alliance. Maybe not as their main, but at least as one of their numbers. So Chelsea and Leah have a pretty long conversation.
Sitting with us, and she was just feeling away, and we were just like, we freaking know how it feels. Being on the block sucks.
Yeah.
We are going to empathize with that. It was me, Cam, and Rubina. Like, we're going to freaking empathize with that because it does suck. And Joseph was like...
They start off talking about how since Tucker is gone, it feels like a brand new game now. It feels like everybody has a chance. Chelsea talks about Joseph and how he was honest about how he wasn't feeling her the past few weeks and, you know, just discusses that chat that they had earlier. Now, Chelsea says the only person she is sure of that is playing both sides of the house is Joseph, excuse me, and she doesn't like how he talks to others and the comments he makes. Remember, he's been telling people that, you know, he's safe, he's always been safe, and he's been saying that stuff in front of people like Angela who haven't always been safe. And she just feels really bad about how cocky Joseph has been, telling people that they have no chance, that their social games are not that good. It's just really rubbing her the wrong way. Now, she also talks about how Joseph told her, Chelsea, that he fought to get Quinn off the block, which essentially means that he fought to get Chelsea on the block. So at the end of the day, Chelsea's like, he's admitting all this stuff and he thinks he's being honest, but all he's doing is low-key telling me, I was trying to get you out. So she still doesn't trust him. Probably Joseph doesn't trust her either. And overall, she says, look, I like everyone on the block more than I like Joseph, and the real person that I want out is Joseph. That is my target. So Chelsea does talk about how she and Quinn hashed out their beef, and her target definitively moving forward is Joseph. And once again, she reminds Leah she has no alliances, no final two. She's basically a free agent. So Cam and Leah have a pretty short conversation. He overall thinks that she should not use the veto. He says that the three of them will not feel animosity if she doesn't use it. And they just solidify that they are still strong in the game. So Joseph and Leah also have a conversation. And
if I know I'm good with somebody, I don't feel the need to like go up to them and check. And then actually check in more.
No, but you know I'm the same way.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
We are not the ass kissers.
Right, exactly. And like, I feel...
Sick band name, by the way.
Yes.
Joseph says, look, I don't want us to be looked at as a pair. He says he tried to distance himself from her so people would kind of get the target off of her back. He doesn't feel like at this point he is a target for anyone besides Chelsea. The Delulu jumped out, baby. The delusional jumped on out of Joseph, saying he's not a target for anyone but Chelsea. Tried the whole house almost. Joseph does brag again about being better at the game than everyone. He has a better eye for the game than anyone, blah, blah, blah. Y'all know. But he doesn't feel that Chelsea will put him up. For somebody who claims that he has a great eye for the game, he sure can't tell that he's under fire. Now, Joseph does feel that he, Leah, and Quinn can be a trio, but overall does not want her to use the veto because of the Skittles, how Quinn is going to pick with Skittles. So T-Core and Leah also have a pretty conversation, and basically T-Core says, look, like, I have not made any of the alliances that I was part of. I was just added to them. She then proceeds to say she hasn't had a chance to play the game yet, which is crazy to me, because it's like, girl, you've been part of every single major eviction, right? You've been part of everything, on top of the fact that you orchestrated the flip against Cedric. But okay, she hasn't had a chance to play the game. Leah does praise her for her gameplay and who she is. And again, we know that Leah and pretty much everyone in the house really likes T-Core as a person. Like, I feel like we don't see that a lot on Big Brother, where people do not want to put someone up or get them out just because they feel like they're such a good person. Like, we've heard Quinn say it over and over that T-Core is such a good person. He doesn't want to get her out or put her up because she's a good person. And I feel like Leah is very similar. So MJ and Leah basically talk about how they went from the top to the bottom of the game. They're so up now. They're doing well. That's basically all those two have. And that is where we end off with those conversations. There was a couple of things of note. So Rubina has been working MJ and trying to, get her in this girl's alliance. So she tells her, look, you have my vote 1,000%, no matter what. MJ and Cam, they have a little talk and cuddle, if you will. They both agree that at this point, they want Chemo out. They also discuss how that trio, Chemo, Rubina, and T-Core, they don't talk to people. They don't try to really make any relationships with others, which is true. I've mentioned that before. And at this point, they want Leah to replace T-Core in the core alliance that they're making. So, yeah. Now, MJ does seem open to the girls' alliance. She does tell Chelsea that they can have that alliance as one, and then maybe have some other alliances, or at least one more alliance on the side, so they can have protection from all sides. And that is all, y'all. That is where we are at. The renom ceremony is happening, I believe, as we speak. So tomorrow's update, we will definitely have some updates on the veto being used, the aftermath. I just know this house is going to be shaken up. Anyway, if you made it to this point of the video, that means you like the video, so I would absolutely appreciate if you would help me drum up engagement on the videos by liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. As I said, we are less than 300 subscribers away from 2,000. I would love to make it to 2,000 by the end of September, and I think it is very possible because you guys are the best ever. You guys are so great. Please make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you have the bell button on so you always know when I upload these recaps. And lastly, please make sure you're still subscribed because YouTube is on that funny stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you tomorrow for the next one. Bye.